What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and this video is going to be all about Angel's brand new costume. Finally, the X-Force Archangel costume has been released, and it has a brand new passive and a whole new set of abilities. So the new passive is called Eschaton, and I'm not really sure how to say that, but basically he gains health and stamina whenever an enemy or ally is defeated. So this comes in pretty handy either in PvE or PvP. Moving on to his first ability is called War. It has deadly crits and also causes pain. And you can notice that it is a melee unarmed attack, so it will work with Juggernaut, which happened to be the very first thing that came to my mind. Next, his level 2 is Pestilence, and it causes Nano Plague, so it deals damage every turn and prevents most beneficial status effects. His level 6 ability is called Famine, and it causes despair and also starving, and I'm not really sure what starving does. I've tried to look into it. It might just be there for looks, but I'm really not sure yet. Despair is great though because it removes and prevents resurrection effects. And then lastly we have Death. It has Brutal Strike and Fatal Blow, so this guy is a real phoenix killer. I also should mention that this comes in Scrapper and Blaster. One of the major drawbacks though is it's a very expensive costume. It costs 90 command points. But we're going to go ahead and get both of the classes, and then we're probably going to use the Scrapper, although the Blaster is great for hero bonus. After we buy his other costume, we're going to go ahead and try him out in some PvE combat. And then there's going to be a second part to this video, and we're going to use him in PvP. And I just want to say this to make sure that everyone knows about his level 2 ability. Pestilence. It's one of my favorite things about this costume. It places something kind of like a poison that takes damage, but the really amazing part about Nano Plague is it removes buffs and it prevents them from coming back. For instance, if you put it on a target that has War Frenzy, it'll take the stacks away, and then the stacks won't build up. And Nano Plague lasts for 2 rounds, so it's really powerful in PvP. It's definitely a great ability for neutralizing the Warbringer Axe. So now that we have both of the costumes, we're going to go ahead and socket the Scrapper version, and then we're going to fight some PvE battles. Now for these battles against the computer, we decided to team him up with his X-Force teammate Phantom X. And we're going to try to show off all of X-Force Archangel's abilities, but it will be kind of difficult because the computer dies really fast. I also wanted to mention how it's pretty interesting that Angel's abilities are named after the Horsemen. You may know that Angel was Apocalypse's Horseman of Death, but his other moves are named after the other Horsemen, War, Famine, and Pestilence. And that's pretty interesting. I'm actually hoping that they release some of the other Horseman versions of characters, such as Wolverine and Gambit as Death and Hulk as War. I think that their alternate costumes would look amazing, and it will give them a chance to have a different ability set as well. So we just used Angel's level 1 War, and then unfortunately the enemy went ahead and blew themselves up. And those particular enemies have a nasty habit of doing that. But moving right into the next fight, I believe this is a 3-wave battle, so it should last a little bit longer. And as I said, I'll try to show off Archangel's abilities. If you still don't have a Lewis automatic machine gun, I recommend you try to get it. It's in Season 2, Chapter 1, Mission 2, and it really is incredible for PvE and PvP. Now with Angel, we're going to use his level 6 ability, and we're going to target this Infiltrator. So there you see we put Despair and Starving on him. And we were interested in seeing what Starving does, but we go ahead and get our follow-up attack with the Scrapper, and we finish the Infiltrator. Now using Phantom X with Angel isn't a bad team-up. In fact, you can get some pretty high evasion going on. But I really can't wait for the rest of the X-Force costumes to be released. I'm hoping that they all come with a different skill set. Since Phantom X is a tactician, he was able to gain tactical maneuvers, and now we're going to get 2 turns with him. So first we'll take out this Blaster, and then you see Archangel gain health and stamina back. So that's another good thing about this costume. You shouldn't have to worry too much about stamina, especially when you're fighting against the computer. On my agent's turn, we should be able to finish off this Bruiser, if the counterattack doesn't already take him out. And it leaves him just short, so we'll go ahead and use the Triggerman once again, and that'll be enough to take him down. Now, as far as Angel's different costumes being a scrapper and a blaster, if you ask me which one you should buy, if you plan on using them in offensive battles, I'd say they get the scrapper outfit. That's what I've been using. As far as the blaster, it's just kind of risky because of tactical maneuvers, but the scrapper alt isn't without its risk as well, since there are a number of bruisers still out there. On Angel's turn, we decide to use Famine once again, but it finishes the enemy. But I really don't think that starving does anything, at least nothing major. Well, let's go back to the discussion between Scrapper and Blaster. The Blaster is of course the best bonus for hero rating. At least in my opinion, boosting your attack is really important. And if you face too many of those bruiser teams, you may want to bring in a Blaster. Either way, it's not a bad idea to bring in Savant Spear and go ahead and generalize your opponents. Or if you can find a way to exhaust them, you don't have to worry too much about facing tacticians. I say if you have enough command points, go ahead and get both. If not, I would say you can't go wrong with either one. And it's not like this uniform's going anywhere. It's not like Iron Man and Iron Patriots that were limited. But this video is coming to an end. This is going to be the very last enemy. So we're going to go ahead and double hit him with Phantom X. Then he's going to get a turn, and we're going to try to finish him off with Angel. If we have to, we will pass with our agent. So as we wrap this up, just remember there will be a second part which focuses on using this costume in PvP. Alright, Phantom X is getting a lot of attacks here, but he does leave him with just a sliver of health. So we have to recharge with our agent. Then we're going to use one of our favorite abilities with the new Archangel costume, and that's Pestilence. That's going to finish the video. I really hope you enjoyed our first look at the X-Force Archangel costume. I want to thank you for watching and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos.